welcome to our Wasatch Front Living YouTube channel. I'm just finishing up peach ice cream. If you don't follow us on Instagram, follow us because we give you really good food places to go and things to do, and as well as some other stuff. So follow us. And today we are talking about 10 best places to live in Utah.
The reason we wanted to do this video is because we've been having a lot of talks about where we want to live here in Utah long term, and there's so many good options that it's pretty tough. So we decided we'd make a video about it and break down some good things about 10 different places here in Utah.
For anybody that's in the same situation as we are, looking to move to Utah, or like renting in Utah now and looking to buy a home.
So we're gonna go ahead and dig right into that. So let's do it. Alright, so we're gonna do these in no particular order, so it's not a ranking system, it's just top 10 places to live here in Utah. So number 1 is Kaysville, Utah. That is located in Davis County, and that's just north of Salt Lake City. So Jana, what are some cool statistics about Kaysville?
So home prices averaged out up in Kaysville is about $419,000 on the high end, so like close to $420,000, and rent is about $1,500 there. It's like a smaller town, so it's not like a huge city, but it's close enough to where you can still go to downtown and enjoy the downtown things like that.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's probably 20 minutes maybe out of maybe 20-30 minutes away from downtown Salt Lake. So you just head straight down the 15 and you're right there in downtown to enjoy a jazz game or whatever. Another cool thing is that Kaysville is right by the theme park that's here in Utah called Lagoon. So it's really fun. Lagoon has been adding new cool rides pretty consistently over the years. So it's a really fun place, and you're really close to that being in Kaysville.
All right, next up is Provo, Utah, located in Utah County.
Yep, and so the average home price there in Provo is right around $317,000. There's a lot of older homes in Provo that you'll find, so it's kind of hard, not impossible, but it's hard to find a new lot and build there in Provo. So you're seeing a lot of people that want to build a new home move out of Provo. The average rent in Provo is $1,400, and that's because there's a lot of college kids there and young families that want to live in Provo. So it's like competitive not only in the housing but in the rental market as well. That's why you see that rent a little bit higher there.
The great things about Provo is it has Utah Lake, so a lot of people that live in Provo are lake goers and hit up the lake multiple times a week. And what else does it have? The Y it's a college town, like Andy said. So
yeah, BYU is kind of like its own religion down here. People are like pretty crazy about it. The big rivalry in Utah is the University of Utah versus BYU. And if you live down in Utah County, you're not a BYU fan, people will chase you out of town. Just kidding, but they are pretty crazy fans, and so it's kind of a cool environment if you're into sports. They have a lot of really good college athletic teams, not as good as the U of U, but you know, it's okay. Next up is Draper, Utah. Draper is located at the south end of Salt Lake County. Literally it borders Utah County, so it's a great spot as far as access goes, but Janet's going to go into more of the home and rent statistics right now.
Yeah, so Draper is kind of a wealthier place to live. Like the home prices are a little higher because of that, because it's just like I don't know how you would say it, but
it's
like
a really desirable place to live.
And it's in the mountains, so like a lot of people that live in Draper have that view. So the number is $550 for the average home prices, and those homes in the mountains are what kind of like racks up that average home price. So rent $1,400 in Draper. And like Andy was saying, it's just like a really desirable place to live and close to everything, great freeway access, and it's one of our favorites. For sure.
Yeah, definitely a personal favorite. And another big draw to Draper is it has really, really, really good trail system, not only to travel throughout the city and to other cities, but up in the mountains. If you like to mountain bike, you like to trail run, pretty much anything outdoorsy, Draper has great access because you can walk out your front door and then hop in your car or get on your bike and you can be up into the mountains or on a really cool trail within 10 minutes.
If you're looking for more information on Draper, we did a neighborhood tour video just recently and we talk a ton about it with the mayor of Draper, so that's a pretty cool video. Check it out.
Check it out.
Next up is Ogden, Utah, college town, north of Salt Lake City. Andy's gonna give us the housing details.
Right, so Ogden, the home prices are actually really low up there. The average home price is $280,000 and the average rent is around $1,000. So both of those categories are much lower than the places that we've been talking about. So if you're looking for a decent home, I mean, you're going to get a little bit of an older home, but an okay square footage and some land to go along with it, for a really great price. And you're going to be living in Utah. You're going to be in a major city in Utah. Like Janet was saying, it's a college town. So it's a home to a D1 AA school called Weber State. It's a good school and a really cool spot.
Another great thing about the home prices being so low is there could be some good investment properties. I mean, Andy would know more about this than me, but with those low home prices and being a college town, you might be able to find a property and then be able to rent that out to some college kids.
Yeah, it is a great place to do that, and you do see a lot of those kind of houses going, as far as people come in and buy a much older home, flip it, and make an easy profit just because of the great market we have right now. Okay, so next up is St. George. St. George is located at the very southern edge of the state of Utah. So it's about 3.5, 4 hours away from Salt Lake City. So Jana, what's cool about St. George?
St. George is honestly one of my favorite places in Utah because it's warm and you don't get the same kind of snow and chilliness that you do in the winter.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing about St. George. The other thing is it's so close to Zion's National Park
and a bunch of other national parks too. There's southern Utah is full of really, really cool national parks.
When I think of St. George, I just think of Red Rock, warmth, and college. I don't know. Well, SUU is in Cedar City, but
Dixie State
is in St. George, so there's a lot of college vibes there, I feel like, in both cities. Cedar City's great too.
St. George is interesting because it has a mix. It's a college town because Dixie State is there. That's a Division II school. So you have a lot of young kids, but at the exact same time, St. George, just a couple of years ago, was known as a retirement town. So you kind of have a lot of old people, and then you have a bunch of college kids, and then recently a lot of just young families and just families in general are moving to St. George. So the demographic is kind of switching down in St. George. It's becoming much more of a youthful overall town than it was just a few short years ago. What are the home prices and the rent?
So we have around $330,000 for average home price, and let's see, just under $1,000 for rent. So rent's not bad there.
Yeah, St. George.
Next one is Park City, Utah, the most expensive place to live in Utah.
It is very, very expensive in Park City. The average home price, and I hope you're sitting down, is $1.1 million. It's not a joke. It's very expensive in Park City.
And it's really nice.
It is very nice. Average rent there is $1,400. So the reason Park City demands those prices because it's kind of a resort town. It's nestled in the mountains on the eastern mountains of Utah. So it's kind of views abound and you're connected to nature, and it's just kind of a culture up there that Park City has created. So even a lot of movie stars own houses in Park City, famous athletes. So it's just this mix of cool ski town that a lot of movie stars live in and visit every year. So Park City is really cool that way. Okay, so next up is Heber City. Heber City is located on the eastern side of the mountain. So you come up out of the canyon there, and you go through Park City, and then you continue south and you run into Heber City. And Heber City is really cool because it's still very small town feel. There's a lot of farming that still goes on there, but it's actually population wise still a pretty decent city, and you have all the amenities that you really want, but you're also still, like I just said, small town feel, wide open spaces, definitely not condensed like a lot of Davis, Salt Lake County, and Utah County would be.
So the average home price is around $458,000. So definitely not bad. Cheaper than Draper, and it's the same kind of feel of like in the mountains, trails, and really pretty.
Okay, so next up we're gonna do Salt Lake City.
So Salt Lake City is not somewhere like that I think I'd live, but we included it because it's where like a lot of people live and a lot of people choose to live because of all the opportunities that are there. And so some things that go on there is the nightlife. Like if you're into concerts and you just want to be right there where it all happens, Salt Lake City is the place.
Yeah, there's also a lot of cool historical sites like Temple Square. Even if you're not big into religion, a lot of people from around the world come to Salt Lake City to check out Temple Square. It is a really cool site, especially in the Christmas time when they put up all the lights. Very cool. Beyond the temple and Temple Square, there's lots of other historical sites, cathedrals, etc., etc. It's a great place for that kind of thing.
Lots of food options. A lot of the places that you might see like online that people say to go try are in Salt Lake City, just because that's where you're gonna find like the trendy new food places. But another great thing about Salt Lake City is the canyon is right there too. So you can go up Big Cottonwood Canyon and enjoy the nature like Utah's famous for. Like that's in Salt Lake City too. So
yeah, it's not far. So average home price in Salt Lake City is $415,000, while rent is $1,250. You might be a little bit surprised by the rent, but typical rentals there are a little bit smaller. It's a lot more condensed as far as the apartment you're gonna get, so that is able to keep the rent a little bit lower there in Salt Lake City.
Logan, Utah is the next one. I think, what are we on, number 9?
Yep.
Yeah, and again, not ranking. This is just the 9th.
General list.
The 9th, yeah. And Logan is located at the very north of Utah, so right before you get to Idaho.
Yep. Logan is cool. The average home price there is about $242,000, while the average rent is just below $1,400. Logan is another college town. It's home to Utah State. It's kind of the forgotten middle child as far as rivalry goes between BYU and Utah. There's also Utah State, D1 school.
The Aggies, right?
Yeah, Utah State Aggies. Now, Utah State is a really cool school. It's a really good school, and they do have really good athletic programs, especially basketball, and football has been really good in the recent years too.
Andy knows about sports, about college sports. We should do a video on that.
Probably.
Okay.
Another cool thing about Logan is that even though it's home to big time college and there is a decent amount of population, is you do still have that little small town feel to it. You still find a lot of farming there. That's actually a big program for Utah State, is the farming and the agricultural side of things. So Utah State and Logan are big into that, and so you'll find a lot of farming in that small town feel that a lot of people like. So
last but not least, also not first, not ranking, what is it?
Number 10, Lehi, Utah.
Yeah, so Lehi is great. kind of similar to Draper in the sense that it's like right in the middle of Utah County and Salt Lake County, and so you have access to both. Great trail system as well that connects to the Draper trail system. Great family environment.
And you got access to Utah Lake as well. Another cool thing about Lehi is that it's becoming a tech center. So if you're looking for a job, it's possible to have a job, a great job in Lehi, and live in Lehi, so that your commute is basically nothing. You can just ride your bike to work every day. So that's a big pull to people coming to Lehi, and that's why it's growing so much.
We also have a video on Lehi if you want to go check that out.
Yep, really cool video. Go check it out. Average home prices in Lehi sit around $390,000, while the average rent is about $1,260. So it's not super expensive, but as it continues to grow, obviously that scarcity will increase and those home prices will go up. So if you're looking to get into Lehi and be part of the tech boom and all the fun stuff that's happening in Lehi, it is a great time to do so.
All right, that's what we have for you. The top 10 places to live in Utah. If you're interested in moving to Utah or selling your home in Utah, contact this guy. Even if you don't want to live in one of those 10 places.
Yeah, there's a lot of other good places in Utah. And what's cool about Utah is that a lot of the cities run together, and so there's a lot of great places in every single city in Utah. So no matter where you choose, it's hard to go wrong here. But if you're interested in learning about any other cities here in Utah, reach out. Love to answer any questions for you. And just like Janice said, I'd love to help you guys either buy or sell a home here in Utah. So feel free to reach out. My number is been here throughout the video, and it's also down in the description. So give me a text, a call, or an email, and I'd love to help you guys out.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, let us know if you'd like to see a neighborhood tour of any of the cities that we talked about. And we love you guys. Thanks for watching.